experience, and we just need to see.
Well,
We need to see what's out there.
there's a lot more to it than patrolling the streets. Well, we found that out real well when our former chief left.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, all the paperwork and all the stuff that was behind, took them months to catch it up. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Arrington. Hey, y'all.
What are you up to? Huh? No.
About bear wise, we did get it.
Yeah, well, it's probably, I hadn't been home today, didn't check my email.
Well, this was
When?
they were allowed to read.
I probably have, if it's February the 11th.
You read it? Yeah, I read it. How you doing?
I'm good. You know, people who don't take care of their dogs, I've come up with a solution, but it causes another problem. We ought to shoot them, but the bears are gonna come eat the body, so.
Yeah, then we don't have,
Oh, that's a lot.
then we don't have evidence.
No, we don't.
I wasn't here when they dropped it off.
I like the time we're taking to get these ordinances really right.
Me too.
Is this
I think I'll go get my glasses.
Oh, you better.
Don't tell my friends. What you do? We went to a sanitation meeting. How are you? I'm just back here so I don't get any. Are you here to just observe?
Me?
Not you, baby. I know you're looking.
No. I wish I wasn't here to observe.
Oh, that's funny. Sanitation, I can't even spell it.
Because we have to wait till the sanitation ordinance is squared away before we can distribute the 26 calendar. Because they may make some changes on pickup days for trash. So I do that.
Oh, okay, okay. See, I was looking to see if, residents said it was a calendar, was a holiday. And wasn't anybody who come to us? Okay.
Same holidays. We probably look at your old calendar, just figure out. Nothing's changed.
And Kelso. Well, it's not the same calendar, I mean, it's not the same days of all.
No, but last was the,
Oh, if it was a holiday.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
did. That's exactly what I did.
so I think they have a plan that March. Very nice day.
Yeah, I thought it was weird that, there was the other side.
Everybody's still on their feet?
Barely.
Mason.
Yes.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
Why are you here?
Why am I here?
Why aren't you in Florida?
Oh, good question.
It's gonna be 10 degrees in 2 days.
Yeah, my son called me last night. He said it was like 78 or something.
Hey, Mason,
Hey, Mayor,
how are you?
I'm good.
What you got something to do on Friday afternoon?
Yeah, it's just delightful, actually. Actually, it's really good, because otherwise my wife was gonna have me driving to Tennessee all afternoon. At least I get another night's sleep and drive tomorrow.
I forgot to print out what I had sent.
I need a coffee. This is Read that.
Okay.
Where in that?
This is one I had already. This
She's
must have been
daydreamed
an
that.
earlier one. This is Mason's, isn't it? Mine is here, so.
Hello, doing good.
Hey, Grant. Good. I don't know where the latest,
I'm sorry. Neither one of my kids sleep through the night yet, so I'm over here. On Fridays, I'm have to.
how old are they?
6 and 3. It's my fault. It's really my fault because I've let them sleep in my bed, always. And so now they start in their beds, but then we're up and down, and then I end up giving up, and then they end up in my bed anyway.
Oh, my.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yes, I didn't bring my computer. I was gonna say the latest version.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I just got a massage. I've been having this neck pain.
So my suggestions was they were few.
Neck, back, yeah.
We'll
Okay.
go through, we'll just kind of go
Shoulders.
through section
Okay.
by section.
And man,
And I'll
like,
get you all to just tell me.
she like worked me
what are
over.
your,
It was good.
what are your changes
I needed,
for
I'm like, I
section
think I
one,
need
and
to
then
do
we'll
that.
just go that way.
Okay.
Do routinely.
I did routinely when I was, particularly in my 40s, when I was just really
Working hard. Yep.
40s and 50s.
Because you hold all that stress in your
I
body.
do. I hold the stress. So Friday, I had a standing appointment Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
And I got off.
I want people to just tell me what they want to do.
Probably made your week. You probably came home to the kids a lot better.
Really, and I got in the habit, and I didn't ever want to change. But I got retired. I don't need it.
You'll need it. You're a little more relaxed
I'm
now.
not knotted at the end of the week.
Man, that is a 100. I can 100% identify with that because it's like it's not just my physical posture. It is just the stress of like you're managing a lot. And man, yeah, I hold it all just right in here. And she worked me over though.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't?
Thank you. All right. Okay, it's 2 o'clock.
Do we,
Yeah, you need to take care of that stress. I know you get some exercise. You need to keep at it. One of my best friends
yes,
was a dentist,
Yeah.
sole practitioner
it
in
is 2.
great dentist.
Okay, folks, it's 2 o'clock. We're going to start our meeting. I'm going to call it to order, but first, let's bow our heads for a moment of silence before we start the meeting. Arrington, we're bowing our heads. Amen. Commissioners, you've received the agenda. This is a workshop concerning enable us to all go over the sanitation ordinance together. Would like to make this as quick and thorough as possible, unless there's something that you absolutely object to strongly. I want you to be as gracious as you can in giving staff something that they can work with. So let's move along quickly, and I'm going to ask Savannah to cover the ordinance, and then we'll move along. Savannah?
Thank you. Okay, so as you all know, we are proposing changes to the solid waste ordinance. What we're really looking to do is strengthen bear-resistant requirements. So we want to see folks having bear-resistant containers one way or another, whether they're buying something or modifying something that they already have. We want to clarify property owner responsibility, especially when it comes to contractors or other service providers working on their property. We want to make enforcement really clear and easy so that we have a good, clear way to enforce the changes that we're making. But as you all know, really our, I think, number one goal is to decrease the number of human-bear interactions that we are having in town. So my suggestion would be to go through the ordinance just section by section as it's proposed, and let's talk about any changes that you all would like to make just section by section. I think that's the cleanest way to do it. And in front of you all, you have the latest iteration of the proposed ordinance, and what is redlined are Commissioner Blake's most recent suggested edits. So that's what's in front of you, and we will just go through it, starting with Section 1, requirements. And I'll just be taking notes as you all tell me what you want to see and discuss it amongst yourselves.
Okay, Commissioners?
I think you maybe have corrected this, but in Section 1 it said kept in paper or plastic bags, but we definitely don't want paper bags.
Yes, we did change that and actually changed it to say they must be kept in tied plastic bags.
Okay, good.
And I added design to hold solid waste.
Yeah, and I think that's a good.
Yeah, not in Ingalls bags.
Any other changes?
In Section 1?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be interested in Mason's comments on the very significant changes that he is suggesting in terms of like striking 1 and 2, or A and B, I guess it is, out of B, and because, yeah, well, yeah, I'd just be interested in
Sure.
your thinking.
It's not substantive, Tom. What these two, well, first they were, without being critical, they were sort of out of place because they started talking about permanent bags right after it talked about these permanent facilities being an exception.
Yeah, and there was a duplication in
So what
those two.
I tried to do was simply recreate all of it at the top of C, the new C, and rearranged it. And instead of limiting it to permanent BRCs or permanent BRC systems, this is all BRCs, and all BRC systems have to be bear resistant, certified, etc. The way it was structured before, because of the way they placed it, that was only relating to permanent.
Right.
And it needs to be all. And so that's the reason, essentially, it's all that language in A and B is recapitulated in C, is applicable to all containers in all systems.
Okay.
And I should have said this at the top of the meeting. I have reviewed, and I think all of Commissioner Blake's edits are good ones. So that's if that holds any weight, just keep in mind. I have reviewed them, and I think they all make sense.
Okay, where are we? Have we finished A and B?
Are we,
They're gone.
what else for
Still in
section
section
1?
one.
Yeah, what else for section 1? Okay. Anything for section 2, which is burning or burying of solid waste and refuse?
I've lost my edits.
That's on page 2,
So,
or page 3.
I'm just trying to get oriented from the last version that we had seen to this one. So there's still the numbering system changed as well of the sub points in section 1, correct?
The draft I took was not numbered properly. I mean, it was just, it would have 1 and then it would have a 1, 2, 3, 4s instead of moving to A, B.
I see what you did.
And so
Okay.
I just made it, that's sort of the last thing anybody ever looks at. Are the numbers okay? Because you're never looking at them.
Okay, I'm with you.
It's all formatting.
I'm with you.
So are we on section 2?
Section 2.
Second page. Very short one. Section 3, everybody okay?
Hold on. I wanted in section 3 to not only say it's available online, but also provide a link.
My concern about actually putting a link into the ordinance is that links are very subject to change. So
You got to change the ordinance.
we would have to, the link would update likely annually or maybe more often. So I would be worried about putting it in the ordinance just for it to.
Could we have a link to the website and say under sanitation in the website? So they,
I think what we could
website's never
do
gonna change.
is at the end of the sentence, we could say, a schedule for collection of both solid waste and recyclables is available in town hall and online at, and then
Yeah.
reference our website.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I need to back up one place because I had numbers instead of letters. If we go back to E on section 1, I had suggested maybe at the end, says container within their projected lot lines or right-of-way. Because my container is on my neighbor's right-of-way,
Okay.
which I had to get permission from them and the town.
Yeah.
Mine's on the town.
Yeah. I think that's fine. And we do talk about getting permission from the town to place your
Yes.
trash can in the
Right.
right of way.
Down
So,
right away, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Savannah, the only problem I have with that is I don't have any document that says I was granted permission at the time I was told that I could put
What-
it there.
When we had ours permitted, Barry did it, and I think he must be housing those, or,
He may
some-
well be.
So that might be a good question to find out where the permits, when you were permitted, are.
But what you're saying, Tim, is you never got one from your neighbor. It was a
No, it's on my property. I mean, it's in front of my property, but it's on the town's right of way. If you measure 13 feet from center line, I'm on the town right of way. And they miss it every time they plow, so I'm far enough off the road they don't hit it. But I have no documentation of that. I'll ask Barry.
Yeah,
So just fundamentally how the system's going to work is those that are already permanently located on right-of-way, are they going to all be inspected to make sure that they are in agreement with being bear resistant as well as approved for the right of way.
Yes, and really, I don't think it's going to be like a formal inspection process. I think it will be a little bit more organic in the sense of, as they collect the trash, Drew and Barry or whoever is doing it will be able to give feedback on which are effective and which are not. But going forward, if someone wants to place a new system in the right-of-way, we're actually creating a form for that that's going to be online and that's going to be a more formalized process. So if it's already there, you know, it kind of is what it is. We'll expect to see the bear-resistant modifications be made, but there's going to be, I think, a more formal process for getting something placed in the right-of-way from this point forward.
Okay. You know, obviously, as you and I talk, we're writing up some Q&As. What do we tell people? They don't have to worry about that. The town will take care of it, and they'll hear from the town.
Yes.
If the permanent system doesn't meet the ordinance?
That's right. If there's a problem with their system, they will hear from the town, or if they have a question, they should reach out to the town. But I think in most people's cases, they can assume that no news is good news.
Has any thought been given to perhaps creating and affixing a sticker, small sticker, on the bear-resistant system, permanent system, saying that it has been approved or meets guidelines?
I haven't given any thought to that or anything like that, but I can think about that and ask Barry his thoughts as well. It's a good idea.
That's a good idea, I think. Right off the top of my head, it sounds like a great idea.
It'll work unless you've got a roll-out bear-resistant can that's in the garage.
Those are easier to tell whether they're bear-resistant or not.
Yeah.
If you're rolling out a Rubbermaid 50-gallon can versus one of those big old honky ones.
Yep, true. Okay, nothing on burning and burying of waste, which is section 2, section 3, accumulation of solid waste and refuse is prohibited. Any additions or changes or questions there?
Well, again,
Well,
I
you've added
suggested,
the link.
mention it's on the website and a link.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got that
Put that
noted.
in.
How about section 4, solid waste collection?
I don't think we should promise twice a week.
I think you're right.
I don't know that I've got a copy of anything you corrected later.
So right now, it says the town provides weekly pickups year-round and may provide twice weekly
May,
pickups
okay.
during the designated seasonal period. The town will pick up, and then it goes on. But
Okay.
we're missing a period there. But it does say may right now. That's up to you all.
Maybe we should again say, check the website for current or something.
You know, what you're suggesting is communications with the residents. This is an ordinance.
Right.
Do we need to put that in the ordinance, or do we just need to make sure that everybody knows that?
Okay, well, if we changed it from will to may, I guess that takes care of it.
One of the things that Savannah and I talked about is we're really going to need to have a significant educational program on this, including perhaps a session or two here, inviting residents. And as I mentioned earlier, he and I have already developed a number of issues that need to go in a Q&A. I think it's distributed as well. And then, of course, everything on the website that we do in other contexts. So this is not a standalone.
I would just soon leave that to the town's going to pick up trash weekly instead of saying maybe twice or only once. I just don't want to go back. We've made such progress in just picking up once a week and having the convenience center. I really, it's going to be a cost to have it picked up twice a week.
Last summer?
No.
No. So, I think we, on staff side, we're in favor of a twice weekly pickup during summers because it actually, it's a little bit less labor intensive for the guys because they're picking up so much volume at one time that if they're able to kind of spread the love over 2 pickups, it's a little less strenuous and it makes for shorter days for them. At least that's the theory. There's also the thought that that is less opportunity for bears to get in the trash if we're picking it up more frequently during their most active times.
When people are least likely to secure it.
Exactly, and when we have the most folks in town.
There's 2 weeks there where there's just not enough capacity to put the trash in
Exactly,
there.
yeah.
Pick it up once.
But we could say that the town provides weekly pickups year-round, and that the schedule may change seasonally if you don't want to
Just make it
That
commit.
would be good.
Make it more vague.
Okay.
Yeah.
And may change season, during seasonal periods.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we?
Section 5.
Yeah. No changes there, I don't think. Anybody have any
I
on the yard waste?
said, I don't know if this makes sense, it says, I said underline, where did I do it? I said underline institutional dumpsters. Is that in that sentence?
Wouldn't yard waste wouldn't be.
No, okay, that's got the wrong, oh, that's section 10, I'm sorry.
The only question I have on section 5, in that last line of that first paragraph, under commercially cut brush or yard waste, the issue again is how do we know it was commercial or somebody hired a college kid and dumped it wrong? How do we enforce that?
Well, I think that enforcement on that would be tricky, but our hope would be is that we put it in the ordinance, that commercially cut brush or yard waste, lot clearing, and yard waste deposited by private contractors, landscapers, or tree companies will not be collected by the town, hoping for voluntary compliance on that. It's probably not going to be perfect, but ideally, most contractors and landscapers that work in town will honor what's written in the ordinance.
Most will.
Most will.
And ultimately, the enforcement is you just leave it right there in front of their house.
To Tom's point, we won't always know. But, we've got the police out in town, we've got the public works employees out in town, and they see quite a bit. So, and they kind of know who uses professional landscapers and who doesn't.
All right. We're down to, was that section 6? White goods.
Can I just comment? Excellent addition in section 5 on no person may put anything into culverts, drainage, structures, ditches,
Yep.
or stormwater conveyances. Very important.
How are we going to enforce that?
Don't blow your leaves in the creek.
I had a call from David Curry one time because he thought it was my culvert, but it wasn't.
All right. White goods and bulk items. Any changes there? Section 6. Section 7, recycle materials. section 8.
Hang on. Let's see. Just trying to cross-reference here.
I will say this, if they're placed at the curb in a white container or a black container, crows are going to get him, even if they're recyclable. They know not to touch the blue. They know there's nothing in there to eat. If they check it out, if it's white or black or green or yellow, any other color, they think it's garbage.
Is there any reason not to continue with blue bags? Is there any reason not to continue with blue bags for recyclables?
Well, here's my thought on that, and I think I've shared this with most of you. The recycling facility prefers that all recyclable material be unbagged. That's not practical for us because we do not have a truck that picks up containers. So, we have to have someone physically reaching in the containers. It doesn't make sense for us to require those items to be unbagged. But because the recycling facility is unbagging the items anyway, I didn't think that it made sense to require people to use a particular kind of bag. I guess we could if you all wanted to, but it makes no difference to the recycling facility or to staff what color the bags are.
But does it not make a difference to staff because they see a blue bag and they know immediately that it's recyclable?
Yeah. I guess if you're mixing your trash and your recycling into the same container, then it would be good. If you have separate containers, I guess it doesn't matter.
Some people do mix it. I think
we do.
Okay.
We do.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I honestly.
I think before it said blue or clear.
Blue or clear is fine.
Okay. So we can add in
Clear.
on recycling.
That requires them to look at it and
Yeah.
determine that it's recyclable.
Okay. I didn't realize we were using the same containers for both, so that makes more sense.
It would just be easier for staff to identify.
Yeah, it goes
Well,
on the truck mixed.
And you're reducing the cost of you don't have to have two containers going forward.
I've been to the recycle center and they come in and dump it in the middle of the floor and somebody goes and rips the bags open, dumps it.
And sorts it, right?
Well, then they load it, front end loader, and it goes on a conveyor belt and starts sorting.
So we're adding blue or clear.
All right, section 8, new construction and remodeling.
Instead of just saying until occupancy, because that could be different than the day you get your COO. I mean, my house may be finished, but I don't move in for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But container needs to be moved when you get the COO.
Sure. Yeah. So, or unsightly from the beginning of construction until, so it says that the holder of any building permit issued by the town shall be responsible for maintaining the corresponding construction site free of rubbish, hazards, and unsightly conditions from the beginning of construction until occupancy. Might make more sense to say from the beginning of construction until the completion
of the project.
Yeah.
Yep.
Of the project, maybe. Is everyone good with that?
the issuance of a CO.
Okay.
That's what I was saying.
And you can still have a CO.
Yeah, yeah,
In there.
that's right. That's right.
I just don't want it to be fuzzy as to when that ends.
My mind is running a bit slow today. I seem to always be back one section
Okay.
from the rest of you. On section 7, that very last line, bagged recyclables must be tied to ensure proper handling. That's a great line. Did we pick that up under solid waste earlier? That same, saying that they.
It does have to be
Okay.
tied, yes, we do.
And we did put it in?
Yes.
Great.
Are we through with new construction and remodeling?
So we're just going to leave it until occupancy?
I think that it does make more sense to say until the completion of the project. Because that way, whether it's new construction, remodeling, whatever it is, that you're responsible from the beginning until it's over.
Being construct, yeah, until completion, as evidenced by final inspection. You know,
Yeah, you want an objective measure, yeah.
that gives you objective measure,
Okay,
a date certain.
okay. I'll add that in.
Owner responsible for actions of occupants.
It's pretty straightforward.
Institutional dumpsters.
Good luck on that one.
Got to have some numbers, letters under that. They are.
I know that the college is locking theirs now. 'Cause Mimi was picking up trash one day this week, and she had to bring it home, put it in our dumpster, because all the others were locked.
With padlocks, not just the clips?
She said locked, I didn't.
Wow.
The one where I am is a clip. Because I end up walking by and having to clip.
Section 10, let's see. Gotcha.
Convenience center.
If everyone's okay with institutional dumpsters, the only edit that Commissioner Blake added there was on the second point, which is that dumpsters shall remain closed and latched. And then he added, in a manner designed to prevent access by bears at all times except when actively in use.
Good addition.
It is. So if that's it for section 10, then we can go to our brand-new section, convenience center, and go through any edits there.
What defines in use?
I think that would be putting trash inside.
That's what I would
Yeah.
think. You know,
Where are you, Tim?
Section 10, point B.
Oh, I see. Okay.
is there anything else there?
Are you thinking that point B, when actively in use, might be used as an excuse if somebody says, well, it is used, it's got a bunch of...
I think there's a difference between passively in use and actively in use. And if it's you're using it, but it's passively in use, you're not moving trash into it. I think that's clear because of the word actively.
Savannah, I just picked up something in C. There's a comma after only, and that comma should be deleted. First word in C.
Lawyers are comma experts.
Are you using Oxford style? Because if so, then you need one after solid waste as well.
It's inconsistent throughout all our ordinances.
Okay.
What's that?
What is it?
Whether you use an Oxford comma.
What is it in this ordinance?
It's not used. It's
Okay.
not used here.
All right.
The other new ordinance we've got, there are Oxford commas everywhere. So it's just whoever drafts it, whether they're.
Anything else? Anything else on dumpsters? And let's move on to the convenience center then. You okay with everything on dumpsters, Savannah? Okay. Convenience center.
What section is that?
That is
11.
section 11.
Okay.
Any suggested changes or additions on that? On the convenience center? About section 12, enforcement.
I think we should have a different penalty for the convenience center, for people using the convenience center that are not from Montreat than we do for people within the town who are not following the ordinance. And I think it should be pretty severe, and I think we should post how much money it is. And maybe put a sign up. I mean, I know there is a sign,
Yes.
but like put a sign that
We
gives
can
the
do that. I
gives the
think that's a
penalty
good
and says
idea.
you're on camera. The penalty for using this
$1,000 is a nice round number.
I mean,
You could use it.
because like you don't do that. That is intentional. I mean, you don't accidentally. There's no question. You're driving. You know, it's intentional. I just think you skip ahead to I would make it pretty significant. $1,000 sounds a little high to me.
500?
I think 500 is.
How do we enforce?
You go big, you'll get
Yeah.
But I think it should be big. I mean, we're already paying super high taxes in Montreat, and
We're spending all the money on the camera, the fence, everything else because of the cheaters.
Yeah.
So. no.
I think that we should, to your point, Grant, I think that we should add another point, item D, and just make convenience center its own section under enforcement and lay out what that will look like. And I think we should say that the fee will be posted in the fee schedule, and that way we can change it annually when we adopt the budget, and we can go up if we need to, whatever we need to do. And then we can put a sign up that references the ordinance and says, and that you're on camera and blah, blah, blah.
I think if you put the amount on the sign, I think it's going to be a major deterrent. If someone
Yeah.
sees $500 fine and you're on camera, I mean, I know me. I've broken some laws in my day. I'll speed every once in a while. If I knew someone was watching and I knew that I was going to, what'd you say?
It doesn't bother them that people are watching.
That's because they don't
Yeah.
spend $500.
I think, Angie's had several run-ins with people where she has, she knows that they're not a Montreat resident and that they are using the convenience center. And because we don't have a mechanism, really a good mechanism
To
for
find them.
enforcement right now, they don't pay much attention. But I think once we do,
Yeah.
then it's a major deterrent.
I think it's the combination of being watched with the fine that
Yeah.
actually is enforced, and I think you just fine people, and it's unethical. I mean, they know we're paying these taxes to have this, and it's.
How does one enforce it? How do you collect money from somebody that's not in Montreat?
So we can use the cameras to identify them, to get license plate numbers. But what we try to do is if we, in the office, if we see someone up there that we know is not a Montreat resident, somebody tries to walk up there and talk to them and just let them
But
know.
if you catch them and you say, okay, you owe 500, 100, whatever
Well,
it is, how do you
usually,
enforce it?
if we're able to talk to somebody in person, they just take their stuff and leave. And then we wouldn't be in a situation where we had to where we have to find someone. If, like the situation Angie dealt with not long ago, where she dealt with somebody very nasty who did it anyway and then left, we would pull their license plate information off of the camera and then send them a citation.
I changed my mind to $1,000, I think.
And let me tell you, it'll end up costing you $1,000 by the time you collect it.
And if they don't pay the citation, then we can send it to debt collection.
I think it ought to be stiff for the people that are doing this, and I think the people that are doing this couldn't come up with $1,000 if they sold their household goods.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just think that there's got to be, I think putting a sign up with the amount, I like that. I like deciding that. And then if we need to get a new sign because we feel like the
I
amounts.
think that's going to be a deterrent factor to a certain percentage, a large percentage. There'll still be the absolute crooks. But I think it will.
Well,
I vote for 500.
Factor to have the
I know.
sign and the sign,
We,
like Grant says.
we get,
I'm voting anyway.
we get Detective Bradley out there, you know. He's good.
I'm sure that's what
Sorting that stuff
he
out.
wants to
We
spend
give
his
it to
time
Tim,
doing.
it'll be trouble for him. He will, in fact, probably get
Chase
them in some sort of conspiracy.
Or he'll find some old warrants or something on
That's
him.
right.
Go chase them down the street.
Savannah, the other thing I saw was after the third offense, I would just say maybe third and subsequent, so that there's not any, like, it doesn't, like, it gives you the ability to continue charging the same
Yeah.
penalty.
And that should be in there anyway.
It does say that. I'm
Okay,
sorry. It
good.
does say that. I apologize. Yeah, third and subsequent, yeah.
Good deal. Okay.
I may be reading this incorrectly, but on the third and subsequent offense, it said if the town manager or the town manager's designee finds that a second violation was either willful, do you mean the third violation?
Yeah, that's fixed now. It was just a typo. But it reads, finds a third violation and then goes on.
All right, I'm looking at the wrong copy.
Yeah.
So Angie, you confronted this person, and they just were like, "I'm going to do it anyway."
Yes, but they have different language.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah.
flicked her off.
Wow, yeah.
And Mason, it looks like you did a number of deletions of legalese. Could you explain that?
Yes, I thank you, Tom. That's a good point. Originally, the initial standard here was for willful, wanton, or reckless. That's too great a burden. That actually would require, in order for us to charge, actually to have a hearing and to bring town employees to testify in court and to present evidence that somebody saw this person did something that could be deemed to be willful or wanton. Negligence is an entirely different standard and is frankly the appropriate standard because this isn't a criminal violation. Willful wanton is typically it's a criminal standard as opposed to a civil standard. Negligence is a civil standard, and this is only a civil penalty. And because everybody is deemed to know what the law is, and their failure to follow the law is negligence per se. They call it negligence per se in the law. So all we have to do to prove a violation is for the sheriff or whoever on the town staff, sign an affidavit stating the garbage was all over the place or they didn't latch the can or whatever, and that's it. And it's over with, and there's no pain, no strain. To put in a willful wanton standard here, just A, it's not necessary because it's not a criminal violation, and B, it makes enforcement difficult and very expensive.
So, speaking about...
It's still in the first offense, though, that very first line on page 70, top of page 72, finds that a first violation was either willful, wanton, and reckless or intentional.
Mine says
the one that you sent out.
Okay,
You gave out.
yeah, oh, it's used to that. We can
If
just,
the town manager or his designee finds that a first violation was negligent, and neither,
Top of 72.
top of 72. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, we
that's
need
kind
to
of
fix that.
repeating itself anyway, so I'll rework
Yeah.
I'll rework A anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about, for the convenience center, if you're not a Montreat resident, is there a way to get like to be charged with trespassing? Is that possible?
That would be more of an attorney question.
Because I mean, that's essentially what you're doing when
Yeah.
you're, especially like I think about Angie telling this guy, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna, you don't really have any." I just wonder, like, how?
Yeah, I just don't know the answer to that. Possibly, but I'll ask Brandon about that.
Yeah. That may give it some more teeth too. Did we decide that Montreat residents would be, like anyone who's staying in Montreat is considered a Montreat resident?
Yes, and I think we actually expanded it
I
to
think-
say
I think that's the case.
visitors, guests.
Yeah, she had expanded language, I think you're right.
Under, no, that's section,
Because I'm going back a little bit. Convenience center, section B there, or part B, shall only be used by Montreat residents.
Yeah, and so earlier in the ordinance, we say visitor, renter, or any other person. Let's see. Well, this is what we're talking about. So we'll add the same expanded language down there.
Yep.
and willful wanton is still in.
Yeah, we're going to take
Second
that out.
offense, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're done.
Well, is there anything in definitions? Anything in definitions that you wanted to go over?
That just repeats the same language in the ordinance, but it says it twice. Rather than give somebody the argument, say, well, it's defined this way here, and this was somewhere else. So, there's nothing substantive to those changes.
On an effective date, we need to communicate when that, the ordinance may go into effect immediately. How much grace time are we giving everyone?
We should have new language under effective date that says the ordinance shall become effective upon adoption. Residents will have 6 months from the date of adoption to purchase or modify
Gotcha.
a BRC in order to comply with this
You're right,
with this
I didn't see
requirement.
that. Thank you.
Good deal. Anything else on the sanitation ordinance? We're not voting today.
What are we finding the bears when they get into the trash?
A lot. So the plan from here is, hopefully this is our last pass at edits. I will clean it all up, everything we've spoken about, send it back out to you, and then we'll have it on the agenda for our March 12th Town Council meeting.
So we should refrain from making any changes to what you send out to
Speak
us.
now or forever hold your peace. And just a note generally about ordinances, as none of this is forever. If we find that something's not working well, or we sure wish we would have added X, Y, or Z, it's a pretty easy lift to go back and do something differently and make small changes. But I think we've really expanded the bones of our sanitation ordinance, and I think we've got a really good product now. And from here, we probably will see small tweaks over the next couple of years as we really hone in on what works well and what doesn't.
This will give us our basic structure.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I make just a suggestion, Savannah, that we add also to the agenda modification to our rules of procedure, I think it would be very good to have a standard rule of procedure that when we make any significant ordinance modifications or new ordinance, that we hold workshop sessions such as this. Because what happens is we get an ordinance on our desk on a Thursday or Friday, which I might get to look at over the weekend. I might not get to look at until Monday. We're voting on Thursday, and I mean, we've not, we've just put it off, but I just think to go ahead and have a workshop as a regular, approach to ordinances, because they just require a lot of time, and for us to have a limited amount of time, we end up pushing them back anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a very good idea.
We need to have that on the agenda then. We can't vote on that today.
Yeah, we'll need to put that on the agenda, yes.
There are other issues within the rules of procedure that need to be changed too, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to do it in fell swoop.
Yeah, that may be, rules of procedure need to be looked at. It's been a minute since those have been updated, so I may not have them ready in March, but I'll have them March or April. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tom. Well, I was just going to say thank you to the 3 citizens who came today. You all must not have had much to do.
Yeah.
And thank you, Karen.
No, we don't answer questions during the work. You can come up and make a comment, and then we'll consider it.
Oh, I have some.
Can I make a comment on something else before we open it up to public comments? If that's all right? 2 things that I would like us to consider doing. This is going to be a hard ordinance for people to accept, not only because it changes procedures of or ways that people do things, but it's also going to be a financial burden on some folks. Not to mention the 3rd issue of, gosh, I've been using Rubbermaid containers. What do I use now? So what if we did a list of manufacturers of bear-resistant containers, and maybe a list of manufacturers of bear-resistant systems as well, and just and we don't want to get caught up on people thinking, well, we're favoring a particular manufacturer. But if I didn't have a bear-resistant system, I wouldn't know where to start.
And I think what we can do is WMI, the Wildlife Management Institute, I'm almost positive that they already have and maintain a list of those manufacturers, so we can just have that handy for folks, maybe print some off if people need them. Another idea that I had kind of around trash and education on this ordinance specifically, and I was going to email you guys about it earlier this week, but I thought it would be more fun to see your faces in person when I suggest this. But what if we were to do some sort of education event, meeting here in Town Hall where we review, these ordinance changes, what we're asking folks to change in their behavior as it relates to trash, and then host a town-sponsored trash and litter pickup day for the town of Montreat. I'm thinking specifically along the banks of Flat Creek, which are still pretty littered from the storm, actually. And I just think that might incentivize folks to come out and listen to what we have to say about the ordinance and then get them busy on an activity.
Sounds fine to me.
I think it's a great idea, and it shouldn't be restricted to Flat Creek. There's just look at the college campus or their approach to the college campus.
Come on up and ask your question.
Wait, I said I had 2 things. I only got one. Some people are not going to be able to afford a $450 BRC. We can't buy them for them. We don't have that money either. But you and I briefly talked about this. could we try to work out a discount arrangement with a manufacturer where we would lead people to them and they'd get a 20% discount on whatever.
We could do that, and we could also do like we have done on streets in the past. When someone, like up on Peace and Providence, and they wanted that street paved, all the people who owned a lot shared in the cost of that and paid the town back over a period of time based on their portion. We could, I don't want to set up a finance thing, but we could almost set up a payment plan that they're billed at by the town, but they pay it back over X number of months. Is that a problem, Savannah? Angie?
I don't love it, but let me think about it.
Okay.
Is it just bad timing because of where we are with
It's a little
lien
bit of
recovery
that.
and?
I think that what we would see is that everybody wants to do that rather than just go buy one outright. So then the financial burden then largely
Falls on the
shifts
town.
to us.
Yeah.
But also, I think because we're offering the option to modify the can they already have, that I'm trying to avoid that feeling that that I have to go buy something new. You may need to go buy some supplies or something, but I don't know. But I'll give that some thought of what we can do to alleviate any financial strain that
Well,
people do experience.
I just wanted to try to help, but if
Yeah.
if it's going to cause us a problem and create a whole new animal for the town to have to deal with, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
y'all
I
got
think
enough on you right now.
There may be some way to work out some sort of, discount where we buy in bulk and then folks just buy their cans from us. We would probably need to know how many we're buying ahead of time. So there's probably something like that we can work out, but I'll look into it.
That may be the best solution, is have people apply for a program where you can buy it through the town and we buy it in bulk and get a discount.
You want to ask you a question now?
While Laurie's coming up, I'll apologize for trying to be funny when I shouldn't have. This is a serious topic, and I appreciate y'all being here and taking interest in it.
Well, my comment is, I live on Sonoma, and our garbage system, we put our garbage out, like, we have a problem with our garbage. So, I guess I would like to suggest whether there's an option, if you don't want to get a beer container, that you take it to the convenience center, or if you don't have an issue, I mean, is there a requirement that you have to have? Is that going to be a requirement?
So you're not required to buy, a specific bear-resistant container. The ordinance is asking for every container to either be modified to be bear-resistant or to be bear-resistant by manufacturing. I think in your case, where you don't really have, a lot of problems, you could probably look at some very simple solution like adding straps to your trash can or something like that. Yeah.
So I guess my point is, I don't want to spend $450 to buy a beer box.
Yeah.
I'd rather take it to the convenience center every week. So I'd like to make sure there wasn't some kind of.
As long as you don't put it, if you put it in the convenience center, there's
Yeah.
no requirement you to have. No.
Because you're not using the curbside pickup.
You're opting out of that.
You're paying for it, but you're not using it.
Thank you, Laurie.
But you're paying for the convenience center.
Anyone else have a comment or a question? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Kelso,
Did you? Yeah.
You dressed for it.
There was a comment made, I don't know if it refers to this situation, but if one feeds birds, and is that drawing bears? Do those people have to stop feeding birds?
We did not pass our wildlife feeding ban, so you're still okay to feed the birds. We are kind of asking people to consider bringing their bird seed inside, especially at night or when they're not home, and making sure it's really secured. Because we have had bears even break into people's houses looking for birdseed. Yep.
Anyone else have a question or comment?
I'm wondering if 6 months is not too long.
Yeah, and I understand that, Arrington. We're really trying to balance, so ideally, we would have passed this ordinance a little bit earlier so that the 6 months would have fallen kind of well before the summer season, but that's just not the way it worked out. But we have to balance the interest of keeping bears out of trash with being overly, making this overly burdensome on folks, especially people who may not have the money outright to do what they need to do on a new can or whatever. So we're trying to give plenty of lead time so that people can first adjust to the idea that there are a lot of new rules in place now, and second, that if it is going to be a financial strain for them, that they have time to get that in order before we start penalizing them for it.
I do think, Arrington, that a proper educational campaign, which Tom's working on, and as usual, going to have, I'm sure, a very thorough one. That's going to, even though it's a 6-month deadline, people are going to be getting into compliance.
6 months puts me to the fall, and our problems are not there. They did up.
Well, then it worked, didn't it? Then it worked.
Well, again, I think you'll see a lot of early compliance because of the education that's going to go on.
We're also giving some consideration to people who will not be up here till later in the summer or other times. So there are people who don't just come when it's warm early.
You also didn't ask a question. Tom, what kind of education system are you working on?
Arrington, why don't you get Tom off to the side and ask that? You've already asked and answered.
We'll take suggestions as well. We don't have all the answers.
Thank you, Arrington. Anyone else? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you, folks, for coming.
Good meeting, Mr. Mayor.
I saw it.
Oh, the story.
I feel like there needs to be like a book. There needs like a book or something, or yeah. That's fantastic. Is he around today? Is he here today? Okay.
This guy, I think, was a lone druggie. He was an older druggie, you know. Yeah, he was. It's crazy.